Hi, I'm Steve, the introverted traveler. I've made it my mission in life to explore the beaches, deserts, mountains, and even cityscapes around us, and to do so while avoiding contact with as many people as possible. And although I will never hang out with you for any reason, I do invite you to join me on my journey. Come and see the world through the eyes of an extreme introvert. On this adventure, we celebrate the fall season with a return to the Indian Heaven Wilderness for a hike to Blue Lake and beyond. Along the way, we will pass through thick forests, walk amongst the fall colors, and experience the numerous lakes that dot the surrounding landscape. All this and much more on this Introverted Travels. Greetings, and I'm back yet again on yet another adventure. And today I'm shot out of a cannon. I'm heating up. Some could even say that I'm on fire, and whatever other cliches you want to use to describe the awfulness I am currently finding myself suffering within. Because I am on introvert red alert. I'm on introvert red alert. That's how red alert this introvert red alert has got to be. I'm doing something today called the Elk and Blue Lake Loop here in one of my favorite locations, the Indian Heaven Wilderness in southern Washington. And I'm literally in the middle of freaking nowhere. I had to go down a long dirt road, then I had to go down another long dirt road. Somewhere within there, I think I passed through a black hole. I ended up in a wormhole. I went through SETI Alpha 4, and then I ended up on another dirt road, and then I found the trailhead. And guess what was that? The trailhead. People. Not only people, the entire freaking parking lot, which was basically just a dirt rut with some Forest Service signs up. Thank you, Forest Service. It was completely full. I had to park down the dirt road on the side of the dirt road because there were so many other people parked along the dirt road. That's how many people are out here. And for all of you who always say, go deeper in the woods, I can't get much deeper in the woods without falling off the globe. And I found people. I mean, my head literally almost exploded. There would have been brains on the trail if I didn't have such inner fortitude and such conviction that if I just keep hiking up the trail, somehow all humanity will go extinct and everything will be okay. Actually, I figured the further I go from the trailhead, the better, because there's usually fewer people the further away you get from the people. I'm not going to do any introverted math because there were so many cars there. I don't think numbers have been invented that are big enough to describe the number of people that may or may not be out here in the beautiful, wonderful, lovely. Apparently there's a tent in that direction. It's a trail that goes up that way. There's green things. There's bark. And there's, in front of me, Thomas Lake. Because this particular trail today has about 4,000 lakes on it. And apparently, and I didn't know this, but apparently holes in the ground that have water sitting in them, well, apparently they're people magnets because there be people. According to the thing that should be suffering at the bottom of Thomas Lake over there, all trails, this hike is like 10 miles. There's actually a version of it which is 15 miles, but I don't think I can take 15 miles of other human beings today. I think 10 miles is already pushing the walls of my sanity. I mean, there's literally a tent over there in the bushes. Even the bushes aren't safe. I don't think I need to delay this any further. I mean, this is not going to be your typical introduction section because didn't you hear me? I'm on introvert red alert. But you know where I am. You know what I'm doing. And you know that humanity sucks. Oh, and also because it is part of the formula, I should tell you that the estimate for the all trails mileage may be under, it may be right on, but chances are, because as we know, all trails is literally coated by drugged out salmon that are found out there, right there in Thomas Lake. They throw them on the keyboard and they flop around and it just randomly generates code and that's how it's coded. So because it's coded so badly and so poorly, the information you get from it is hardly ever accurate. And thus, say it with me, because there's people over there, so let's say it quietly. But all trails sucks. And now all of dog kind is apparently going off because I don't think they like people either. But you already know everything you need to know. You know where I am, you know what I'm doing, you know humans suck, you know all trails sucks, and you know there's literally tents in the bushes because there's people in the forest and the trees. Now, this is good and it's bad. It's bad because the trail is so overgrown in this general area that I got on a side trail and now I'm here at something called Eunice Lake. But it's good in the fact that I'm at a beautiful lake called Eunice Lake. It's gorgeous. You can see the reflection in the water. I mean, the water's kind of icky looking, but the trees are beautiful. It's nice and sunny. But even better, there's no people at this lake. I don't see any campsites. I don't see any children. I don't see any families. I don't see anybody. I just see Eunice. And Eunice is a lake, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, I mean, I'm only probably about a mile into this hike, and already I'm wandering in the bushes and just finding random bodies of water. Not that I'm complaining. I mean, it's either random bodies of water or people talking. I choose the random bodies of water. But yeah, apparently there's 1 billion lakes up here because I'm in the Indian Heaven Wilderness, and it's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful up here. Sans the cancer that is humanity back there on the main hiking trail. But yeah, I took a detour. I'm in the bushes. I'm ranting like a lunatic, and I see beautiful Eunice Lake. And we saw Thomas Lake back there a minute ago. So this may just be a day full of lakes and bitching about people. I mean, I've had worse videos and I've had dumber things to rant, moan, bitch, and complain about. So I'm okay with bitching about people and looking at the beautiful lakes. Once again, ladies, gentlemen, and my non-binary pals, beautiful, wonderful, and people-free Eunice Lake. Oh my heavens. Twice in 1 year. I don't know if you saw that. It was moving, but again, you're on a GoPro because I'm too cheap and inexperienced to use an actual real camera. But up there, I just saw a pika. Now, I'm still down here by wonderful, beautiful Eunice Lake, and the pika are already plotting against me. Actually, all it was doing was... that pika was literally having its own little introverted rant. It was just standing on a rock up there going, ee, ee, and then it saw me and it ran back into the rocks. But as I've said many times, you never, ever see those damn things. You hear them constantly, but you never see them. Now, I've seen twice in like a 2 or 3 month period. Hence why twice, pika. Now, I may go another 10 or 15 years without seeing another pika, but up there somewhere is a very loud and disgruntled pika that was making a rant about that weird bald guy running around who's making rants. So, they're introverted, I'm introverted. I think they think it's kind of a match in heaven, although I'm pretty sure those rodents want me dead and they will try to kill me if they can. So, once again, I'm at Eunice Lake, and I'm way off the trail, so I gotta go find the trail, but apparently I found the pika instead. Who knew? Well, now I'm about 1.5 miles into the hike, and the nightmare continues. There's a bunch of people in front of me who are so slow because they're, I think you can see them because they're finally like drifting off into the void. Thank goodness. But they're so slow because they're stopping every 5 feet to pick whatever's edible out here. Not edible. I'm sure I'll find like a pile of hikers who have died from something up there. But yeah, so I'm walking behind them, and then of course they're chat. And then they're like foraging through the woods for whatever nuts and berries are out here. And they're just having a casual time, just a happy old time, not even thinking about how their behavior may be impacting the weird, antisocial, very mentally ill, and barely stable bald introvert behind them. No thought about the bald introvert whatsoever. No thought about the introverts in front. No thoughts about the introverts back in the trailhead. No, people are just out here going, hey, let's scream and shout through the woods. There's hikers eating the forest out here, and there's mundane conversations raining through the air. I come out here for my mental health, and now I'm fighting for my mental health. AllTrails is being extra useful today because not only did it label this part of this trail as being in a pine forest. Gee, what gave it away? If I didn't have that on the AllTrails map, I wouldn't realize that I was in a forest, let alone a pine forest. I mean, yes, these are all pine trees, but who knew? But in addition to that, there's a little mark on the map that says that there's a view of Mount Adams. And yet I've been in the thicket of the pine forest this entire time. So basically I turned on the camera just to tell you that AllTrails is, well, it's in rare form, but it's proving once again how utterly useless it is. But again, as I said earlier in the introduction section, AllTrails is coded because they take a bunch of salmon out of a lake and just throw it onto a keyboard, and the fish will flop around, and whatever code results from the fish flopping on the keyboard, that goes in the AllTrails. Hence you get obvious labels that this is a pine forest. I seriously didn't know. And then mislabels that there's a beautiful mountain view over there. Do you see the mountain? It's gorgeous. Through the beautiful pine forest that's in the way. So yeah, that's basically what's going on out here. That, and I just passed another nightmare horde of people. But yeah, next thing you know, AllTrails is going to tell me that I'm standing on dirt, and this is the ground, and then it's just going to have a label on the map saying you're on the planet Earth. Thank you, AllTrails. I've officially made it to some place called Naha Lake. Now, this isn't Blue Lake or any of the big lakes that are actually on the title of the hike today, but as I said, there's lakes everywhere. They're all over the place, and this is this is one of them. It's a nice lake. As you can see, it's wet. There's water. I mean, literally, it's a hole in the ground where there's water. There's weird debris floating on what appears to be incredibly muddy, dirty water. And it's shiny and reflective. I mean, I don't really know how else to describe a lake other than, hey, look, it's wet. But yeah, I'm at something called Naha Lake. Now, the observation I would like to make is sometimes when you're hiking, you'll run into single people, like me. You'll run into people who are, I mean, I'm not single. Single is in the romantic way, but I'm a single hiker. I'm a solo hiker, and you'll run into that once in a while out here. Usually it's hordes of people that want to inflict their social niceties on other people because, well, their lives are miserable and they get off on destroying introversion. But sometimes you'll see solo hikers. But I gotta say, sometimes when I see male solo hikers with the sunglasses on and a frown on their face and a hat and you can barely see their features, I'm just reminded that I am here in the state of Washington, and up further north is where Ted Bundy used to hike through the forest, dragging the bodies of his victims and burying them in the woods. And so every time I see just a lone wolf walking with sunglasses on and not having any expression on their face, I'm thinking, well, I mean, I'm not an easy target because I'm a hunk a lot of meat. No serial killer wants to deal with me. So I feel like I'm safe. I mean, would you, if you were a serial killer, would you want to butcher, skin, and bury this? I mean, you'd have to drag it out of off the trail. You could possibly like drown me in the lake, but then there's a huge ass body floating in the lake. But serial killers, they're usually pretty rough and disgusting and awful, and they're gonna want to bury me in the woods, probably dismember me first, probably take souvenirs, my fingers, my nose, whatever. But I'm a lot of target. I mean, I'm like 300 pounds and then 6'3" or something like that. And these dweeby little serial killers, I mean, Ted Bundy was not a big guy. Jeffrey Dahmer was not a hulking huge guy. No, I think I'm safe because the serial killers see me and they're like, yeah, not worth the effort. It's too much work. And then they go on and go find some skinny hiker. And then they dismember that person and put him in the woods. But basically what I'm saying is I'm at Naha Lake. I'm at the part where the trail becomes a loop and then goes either to Bear Lake, which is in that direction, or Blue Lake, which is in that direction. And I was going to go towards Bear Lake, which I didn't have my reading glasses on, and I thought it was called Bean Lake for a minute. But no, I got my reading glasses, and it's Bear Lake. But I was going to go towards Bear Lake, but straight ahead, there be people. So guess where we're going? Blue Lake, it's in this direction. I also think there's people in that direction. So I think I'm choosing wisely. Like at the end of Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade, you chose wisely. Yes, I did, because I hear people screaming in that direction. So red alert, we're going this way. Blue Lake. All right, I take it back, because I think I chose, once again, quoting Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, I chose poorly. I mean, I've never seen so many people just randomly wandering around trying to eat the bushes. And I'm not even exaggerating. There's literally people going into the bushes, picking at things, going, nom, 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 and then walking away. And not only that, but I've heard so many mundane conversations. One guy was talking about how good it smells out here. So not only are they eating the forest, they're smelling it too. Okay, we made it to Blue Lake. But there be people. This isn't Blue Lake. There's too many damn people everywhere. Literally coming out of the bushes. Literally, there's somebody standing in that little island over there. Just standing there. So I'm gonna be quiet because I don't want to attract hellos and good mornings. But yeah, this is beautiful, wonderful Blue Lake, and it is really, really pretty, but it's ugly at the same time. And I hear children. So I'm not going to have a big long diatribe here because there be people and they're not leaving. I think the people over there are sitting on that island. It's like literally right in front of me, eating sandwiches. You human beings are intolerable. You don't sit in pretty places and eat sandwiches because there's people like me that just want to get in there, look at something and then get the hell out. We don't want to see you because, well, you're other people and that's just awful. But yeah, they're over there eating sandwiches, staring at the lake, and it is a beautiful lake, but it doesn't remind me of eating salami and cheese or peanut butter and jelly. So I'm gonna whisper my way down the trail and hope the rest of the pack doesn't hear me. But yeah, Blue Lake, beautiful, wonderful, very blue lake. Well, looky at what I found. Once again, I'm going to introduce you to our old friend, the Pacific Crest Trail, number 2000. Now, normally I'd go into this big diatribe about trail numbers because I still have no idea why it's the number 2000, why it's not 1999, why isn't it 2001? I don't know, and the Forest Service isn't talking. But there's so many people out here. Now, the All Trails map has me going in this direction because it wants me to go over to that island that's filled with people, or peninsula, or some kind of thing that juts out into the lake. So we know I'm not going to do that. And then it wants me to go back the way I came and then take another loop and go another direction. But what I noticed on the map, fingers crossed that this map isn't from fur traders in the 1800s, because, you know, that's how old all trail maps are. But I have to go on the Pacific Crest Trail number 2000. Anyway, it's actually literally part of this hike. And if I just go on it here, I can do basically the same loop. It goes out in a little bit different direction, but it does the same loop, and it ends me back to where I'm gonna be anyway. So guess what I'm gonna do? There's like 50 people I saw going in that direction, so we're not going in that direction. At the moment, the Pacific Crest Trail seems empty, so let's go that way. But of course, with my luck today, there's going to be like a Shriners convention or something. I mean, it's just what's going to happen, because literally the entire Pacific Northwest is out here today, licking the forest, eating the forest, smelling the forest, touching the forest, and saying hello and good morning. But I think I just heard a child like make noises, so I'm going to go down the Pacific Crest Trail number 2000. So let's go. All right, all of the sanity is starting to flow back into my brain because I think for once during this hike, I've actually chosen wisely. Because look at this. I'm on our old friend, the Pacific Crest Trail. That's this trail right here. At the moment, I'm looking at Mexico. Canada's in that direction. But aside from, international borders, this was the right choice because it's just me and the weird bird things. Don't know if you can hear that, but there's weird bird things. And you know what's not on this trail? Other people. However, at Blue Lake, where I actually caught on this trail and I came up this way, I was supposed to go back the trail that I came into Blue Lake, and there were people. A lot of people. But no, not on this trail. And as I said, this trail runs parallel to the trail I was supposed to take anyway. And then eventually this trail becomes part of the All Trails map hike anyway. So basically what I'm saying, if I stay on this trail, I'll eventually find my car. I mean, it's not exactly a linear path, but somewhere in my future, if I stay on the Pacific Crest Trail, is my car. But at the moment, it's just me, the spooky Bigfoot-infested woods, all of these strange bird things that are I don't know, plotting against me. I have no idea. The Day and the Pika are in cahoots, and they're all going to attack me at once. So we have that to look forward to. But until then, let's enjoy the silence. Okay, there's no real silence because the weird bird things won't shut up. But hey, they're part of nature and you aren't. So I'm perfectly happy to hear the weird bird things and not have to listen to you. Well, I have officially reached Junction Lake. Look, there's a duck out there. And the reason I point out the duck is because that's the only thing on this lake I don't want to run and scream from. Because I was perfectly happy on the PCT going through the woods. But guess what? It has now met up with the All Trails map hike. And there's people. So in light of the fact that there's people, I'm just gonna focus way out there. You're not gonna be able to see it on a GoPro because it's a GoPro and it just doesn't do things like that. But way out there is a duck, and that duck is not going to scream and shout and hoot and holler and talk about its mundane existence. It may quack, but that's all you're going to get out of it. You're not going to get, hey, hello, good morning, I'm a duck. Would you like to talk about all my days being a duck? Because, well, actually, you know what? Come to think of it, talking to a duck might be kind of cool because I really do want to hear about what it's like to be a duck. You know what I don't want to hear about? What it's like to be a people. But unfortunately, they're all over there. I don't know if you can see that nightmare on a GoPro, but there's people in that direction. There's a dog over there, so it's not all bad, but there's people in that direction. There's people over there in that direction, and they're all gathered here, looking at the duck. Actually, no, they're looking at the lake, but I'm looking at the duck. And yeah, so now my trail has met back up, unfortunately, with the All Trails map. I'm still going to be on the PCT for a while because that literally was part of the All Trails map, just not the piece that I was on. But yeah, we've reached Junction Lake. And I would say it's gorgeous, but there's ugly in the bushes. Oh, people. I finally made it to Bear Lake, which is right down there. I'll get a better shot if I get closer. But the minute I get to Bear Lake, well, first of all, this is the PCT that I'm on. And we're going to have to say goodbye to the PCT. So I'm headed, I'm headed down to this. It looks like a pretty lake, but I'm going to get on another trail here. So we're going to say goodbye to the Pacific Crest Trail. At least for now. I mean, I see the damn thing like every single hike. It's not like I won't see it again. But yeah, we're going to say goodbye to PCT for today. We're going to start heading down to the lake. And then we're going to start heading back to the most glorious natural landmark of them all. My car. here we have directly in the Sun Lake. Actually, it's Acker Lake, but of course, the fact that I'm here at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon means it's directly in the sun. But I don't know if you can get past the blinding light. It's kind of pretty. I think my retina just scarred out, but yeah, it was worth it just to come over here and look at the beautiful lake. You know, one of like 500 that we've seen today, but still, it's a lake and it's beautiful. And I think that the trail down here is literally the trail that time forgot, because all trails literally, it just had me going through. I had to jump over like log after log. I had to push through the brush. I almost died like 5 or 6 times. We'll just, maybe 6 or 7. I don't know, whatever sounds cooler. But now I'm down here at Bright Ass Lake. Acker Lake, and I'm on my way back, well, basically back to the close of this loop, and then back down the trail that I came up to get to the loop to begin with. So the one thing that I will say about trails that time has forgotten, they forgot the people too. And I'll go through any archaic decaying trail as long as there's no people. I swear, I came up here for solitude and peace and to recharge. And I feel like I need to go on a hike to recharge after my hike, because damn. Oh, hallelujah, hallelujah. I am officially back to, well, where I started the loop at least. And let me tell you something about the trail that I just went on. This is, wow, I don't know what trail it is. I'd have to actually look at the All Trails map, and that would mean I'd have to open All Trails, and that would mean I'd have to acknowledge using All Trails, and that's just wrong. But this particular trail, well, first of all, it was like a hide and seek. I found it and it went hiding again, and then I found it and it went hiding. It kept disappearing on me. At one point, I fell in a hole, almost fell in a hole. It was like a ditch, because that's actually where the trail was, and I was slipping because there were pine trees. I got slapped by a bunch of baby pine trees, and I almost died. I mean, bottom line is, I almost died. This was Grim Reaper Alley, this particular trail that just brought me back. So, yeah, I don't know if I'm happy I left it for the last part or not. It probably would have been easier if I'd gone this way, because then I would have been able to see the trail a little bit better. But no, it's now like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Everything's in shadow, and every plant, rock, and tree is trying to grab me. But luckily, that nightmare is over. And I think this is the trail I came in on. I don't know, one of these trails. So I'll figure that out in a minute. But yeah, I'm back to where I started. And now I have to go back to where I really started and go find my car. So I'm going to say goodbye to the nightmare that was this thing. And I'm going to say hello to one of these trails. I think it's that way. I don't know. Again, I have to look at all trails. And that means acknowledging that all trails exist. And it doesn't. It's just a myth created to scare other hikers. That's what All Trails really is. I swear to it. It's like a cryptid, only in app form. But the trail sign's not helping much, because the Thomas Lake Trail number 111 is this way, and it's this way. Which one I came in on? I don't know. It's a coin flip. I'm going to end up in the bushes one way or the other. So I guess I'm going to go this way. I'll check the map first, but I'm going to go this way and hope for the best. But this is it. This is me headed back to my car. Thank goodness. And guess what? Once again, I didn't die. Bite me, Grim Reaper. Apparently we have a special guest star on this version of Introverted Travels. Look at that. I don't know if that's a toad or if that's a frog. And of course I'm going to leave it alone. I mean, it doesn't want anything to do with me any more than I want anything to do with it. But yeah, it's either a toad or a frog. What the hell's the difference between the two? I mean, I know there is one. I know scientifically there's a difference between a toad and a frog. But scientifically, I pretty much don't know anything anyway. So I couldn't tell you what the difference is. Some of you are out there probably screaming at your phones or your TV screens, or, you know, screaming at your phones while you're on the toilet. That's probably the most likely scenario. Saying a toad is this, a frog is that, that's a frog. Okay, so it might be a frog, it might be a toad. I don't know, but it's ribbit, ribbit, and it's hop, hop, and it's not a person. So I'm happy. I'm happy. I mean, it's gotten a lot less people-y out here since I started coming back, because I've literally been out here so long, I've just outlasted all the people. And that happens pretty much every weekend. So I've outlasted all the people. But over here, I have not outlasted all the frogs or toads, or I don't know. It's a ribbit ribbit. Let's just call it a ribbit ribbit and be good with it. So we're going to say goodbye to the ribbit ribbit, and I'm going to go find my car. All right. So, according to the thing that only Cthulhu could love, all trails, I have about 1.5 miles back to the trailhead, and thus 1.5 miles back to my car, and back to me going yippee, I'm at my car, and me getting into my car, and me turning on my car, and then me getting the hell out of here and away from human beings for at least another week. And, you know, I'll be happy for 7 days, and then I'll be out here ranting and raving into a GoPro again, as God intended. But I think now is a good time to do our trail rating. If you have never seen one of my videos before, and that's pretty much 99.9% of the population, so here's what the trail scale is. It's an introversion scale, 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst possible scenario for an introvert, and that's Disneyland on the 4th of July. And remember, that's a day in which Mickey Mouse has gone just completely insane because he's tired of being manipulated by the Disney Corporation, and he's tired of all of you, all you tourists wearing his fake ears and with little balloons that look like him. He can't stand you anymore. So he's just gone completely insane, and he's broken all the water mains in the park, flooded the entire park, and then hijacked one of those little Nemo submarines, and he's just running it into groups of people. And apparently those submarines have little missiles on them, so he's torpedoing as many tourists as he possibly can, and it's just utter chaos. I mean, there's water everywhere. B, everything's on fire even though there's water everywhere, and that's really weird, but hey, it's Disneyland on the 4th of July, so what you gonna do? And then C, of course, the Matterhorn is upside down and Big Thunder Mountain has just collapsed. And that is a 1 on our scale, and it's exactly what I would call introvert hell. And in case you noticed, yes, I did just have to change locations, because guess what? I ran into people. But let me continue explaining this incredibly ridiculous and frankly just downright insane scale at this point. So that introvert hell contrasts with a 10 on our scale, which is what I would call introvert heaven or introvert nirvana. And that is the equivalent of you all alone in the middle of a field in Antarctica with nobody at all around for hundreds and hundreds of miles. You have solitude, you have peace, you have love in your heart, and you have an army of sentient, government-created, genetically modified, human-eating penguins that, as far as the eye can see, I mean, it's like a cattle drive out there, only with human-eating penguins. And you're human, but they don't see you as that. They see you as one of them. They see you as the king of all the penguins. So, of course, they won't eat you, but if any of your colleagues dare to get a bobsled or a snowmobile or a hang glider or whatever the hell they use in Antarctica and attempt to infiltrate your facility, oh, there will be waddling down the hallway, my friends. And those waddle prints will be bloody. That, again, is what I would call introvert heaven, introvert nirvana, because aside from all the terror that those little waddling bastards are causing to everybody but you, it's quiet, it's nice, you have self-reflection. But as I said, that is a 10 on our scale. So on that ridiculous and just probably mentally ill scale that I just recite and make weirder and weirder every week, I'm going to give this trail, unfortunately, about a 2, or let's say 2.5. We'll go in the fractions for this one. And you already know what I'm going to say. It's because of people. I mean, there's people at every single lake. Some of those lakes were nothing more than like puddles with a little bit of water in them, and they still had people. I mean, there's literally people just sitting around in the woods. Who does that? But I mean, it was a nice hike. It was beautiful, and my time in the Pacific Crest Trail was absolutely marvelous. I did see a couple of people there, but not nearly as many as the rest of the hike. But I have to consider the hike as a whole, and the hike as a whole, well, it should be buried in a hole and covered with dirt, because there's just people everywhere. So that leads us to our misery index, which is actually a measure of my misery, and it's on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being complete fiction because it's no misery. And just look at me. I mean, just look at me. I will never reach the level of 1, but it goes all the way up to 5, which is the worst misery you can ever have. But unfortunately, I destroy that scale, I bust that scale, and I go up to like 5 quadrillion pretty much every hike. And today has been no exception, because once again, there's people everywhere. And even right now, I'm at about a 4 because my head's on a swivel and there's people everywhere. So overall, though, there were times that I did have some solitude and had some silence. The Pacific Crest Trail, for the most part, was really good for that. And so I was down to a 2.5. But now I'm headed back to the parking lot that, I mean, it's like a Walmart parking lot down there. I think I even saw some shopping carts when I came in. I mean, that's how bad that parking lot is. So the misery index is high. The trail rating is low. And that's where we are on our scales today. And of course, this is where I am on the planet Earth. All right. So, according to the app from the Black Lagoon, aka All Trails, I have less than a mile left on this hike, and thus I'm trying to get you away from the damn sun. The planet's going in the wrong direction. Once again, it happens. It's late, but I have less than a mile left on this hike, thus less than a mile to the trailhead and to my car and to sweet, sweet freedom from these people-y hordes for at least a week, and then I'll be back in the people grinder next week. But I think now it's the time for us to bid our farewells. But before we do, let's do a quick recap. Today I did the Elk and Blue Lake Loop here in the wonderful, beautiful Indian Heaven Wilderness in southern Washington. And along the way, well, unfortunately, we got to see people. We get to see lots of people. We get to see people coming. We get to see people going. And I wish we could see more people going and less people coming. But unfortunately, there were people. But there were also some beautiful autumn colors. I didn't mention that we're in the autumn season here, but there were beautiful autumn colors. There was lush foliage. There was beautiful lakes everywhere. We got to see Blue Lake. We got to see Bear Lake. We got to see all the lakes. And we also got to see our friend, our wonderful, beautiful Pacific Crest Trail, number 2000. I'm not even going to ask anymore. I'm just going to say it, number 2000, and we'll just accept that for whatever reason, it's the number 2000. But alas, it's now time for us to say goodbye. And it's time for me to say, stay introverted, everyone. And of course, I'll see you in the next adventure.